Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Triple H received a second chance at life after he recovered from a cardiac episode in the summer of 2021. Following this, he had understandably hung up his boots. He made a stunning confession about his in-ring return. On a fantastic episode of the High Performance Podcast, the King of Kings was asked about the cardiac episode and the restrictions that it puts on his life to this day, over 3.5 years later. Triple H revealed that he is actually allowed to do anything he wants to do, barring wrestling. However, he made a stunning admission by stating that he has no desire to return to the ring anymore. Continuing to talk about his health, Triple H opened up by saying that he viewed the health scare as a second chance in life, and subsequently recalibrated his entire perspective on things. For example, he said that when he has a bad show, he can now just look to the fact that he has a wife and 3 kids waiting at home. He said he has everything he could ever want and more, regardless of how bad things are. He called life a gift, and said that despite how easy it is to rationalize it all, such incidents like the health scare fundamentally change who one is as a human being. A few years ago, the news came out of nowhere about his health scare, and it was only revealed much later that the game was done with his in-ring career. While he ideally would have liked to have had a farewell match similar to the one Batista had with him at WrestleMania 35, there certainly are far more important things in life than a grand wrestling match. Either way, Triple H has reached the pinnacle of the industry in WWE many times over, and one can only speculate that such a thing must have been a part of his line of reasoning when looking at life through the lens of the second chance he received. A backdrop with the signature WWE logo. A stage with polished mic stands and a few black leather chairs. Cameras rolled. Fans tuned in expecting the usual, a promotional pitch for WrestleMania 41, a few updates, maybe some talent announcements. But what they got, no one could have seen coming. The crowd buzzed as Paul Triple H Levesque stepped up to the podium. Clean-shaven, tailored charcoal suit, eyes gleaming with something beneath the surface. Nerves, fire, a storm brewing. Whatever it wasn't the usual executive cool. He leaned toward the mic, took a deep breath, and broke the silence. Before I get into today's announcements, there's something I need to say. Something I've been holding onto for a long time. The room stilled. Phones came up. Journalists leaned forward. The silence now wasn't polite, it was electric. Triple H looked down at his hands, flexed them slightly, and then looked back up. 2 years ago, I was told I might never wrestle again. Everyone knew that. His cardiac event in 2021 had sent shockwaves through the wrestling world. Fans prayed. Superstars paid tribute. And when he officially announced his retirement in 2022, it felt like the end of an era. The game was over. I meant it when I said I was done. At the time, I had to be. I had a defibrillator in my chest. My family, stiff. The girls, they were terrified. Hell, I was terrified. He paused, his voice thickening with emotion. But something inside me never settled. I kept watching. Kept feeling it. That itch. That spark. Every pop of the crowd. Every entrance theme. Every stare down in the ring. I felt it all like it was happening to me. I started rehabbing. Quietly. Carefully. Not with the intention to return, but to see if I could be the man I used to be. And something changed. He looked up, his eyes fierce now. I went to my doctor a few months ago. Got my tests. And I heard the one thing I never thought I'd hear again. You're clear. A gasp spread across the room. Let me be absolutely clear. I'm not here to relive my glory days. I'm not chasing titles. I'm not trying to steal the spotlight. But there's one last chapter in my story that needs to be written. He stepped back from the mic and pulled something from his inner coat pocket. A pair of leather gloves. Black. Fingerless. Classic. The crowd erupted. Reporters scrambled. Twitter melted. Within seconds, Triple H was trending #1 worldwide. The King of Kings was rising once more. But as the chaos around him swelled, Triple H just stood there, soaking it in, eyes scanning the sea of flashing cameras. Later that night, WWE released a backstage interview clip. This one was different. Raw, stripped down. No lights, no music. Just Triple H in a quiet corner, talking straight into the camera. I know some people will say I shouldn't do this. I've heard it all. Too old, too risky, you have nothing left to prove. And they're right, in a way. But I'm not doing this to prove something to them. I'm doing this for me. For that kid who fell in love with this business. For the man who lived it, bled for it, built it. For the part of me that still wakes up dreaming about standing in that ring, face to face with someone who wants to take me down, and daring them to try. He leaned in closer, voice almost a whisper now. This isn't just about one more match. It's about finishing the story, my story. And whoever steps into that ring with me at WrestleMania, just remember, you're not facing the Tsibuo. You're not facing the dad. You're stepping into the ring with the game. And I still play to win. Some wanted Cody Rhodes, the embodiment of legacy and rebellion. Others floated Seth Rollins, the architect trying to demolish the past to build the future. There were even whispers about a dream match with Gunther, the ring general, who had been openly talking about dominance and disrespecting legends. It was poetic. Two men who never quite saw eye to eye. The rebel versus the establishment. The voice of the voiceless versus the man who was the machine. Punk had returned to WWE after nearly a decade. And now, it seemed, destiny was offering up a confrontation years in the making. In an Instagram post the next day, Punk added fuel to the fire. A black and white photo of Triple H standing in the ring, taken from a Raw in 2011, with one simple caption. And so, the countdown begins. WrestleMania 41. The return of the game. A man who faced death and said, "Not yet." A warrior who built empires, buried legends, and etched his name into the foundation of wrestling history. Now he steps back into the ring. Not for titles, not for glory, but for something even more powerful. When that iconic time to play the game hits the speakers, and Triple H emerges from the smoke one more time, sledgehammer in hand, eyes blazing, the wrestling world will rise as one.